Welcome back to Learn JavaScript on Codecademy. We're in the JavaScript in the DOM section. This is lesson 8, click. And it says, the next feature we'd like to build is making the recent projects clickable. When clicked, the button should show the individual projects, and when clicked again, it should hide the projects. In order to make an element clickable, we need to write jQuery that listens to an element for a click event. jQuery can do this with an event listener function named onClick. This function will wait for a click event, and when one occurs, it will execute a provided function. The syntax looks like this. So we have our selector selecting example class, and then onClick, it will run this function. 1. .example class selects an HTML element with the class example class. 2. OnClick, with our function in it, adds a click listener to the selector. When it's clicked, the function will execute the code within its block. 1. Our goal is to show our HTML projects when the recent projects button in each section is clicked, and to hide them when we click it again. Let's start by hiding the projects that are currently there. Under your existing code in the main function, use jQuery to hide the elements with a class of projects. So we go into main, into our previously written code, and we're going to select elements with class of projects. And we're going to apply to that .hide. So when I run this, it applies the hide method to anything with the projects class. If I also remove this and run it once again, we do get our projects listed: Broadway, Move, Password Validator, Well Talk. But once I add the selector that selects .projects and it applies .hide, it will hide any of those elements with the class .projects. So I'm going to run it again so you guys can see. So those elements did disappear. 2. Our elements are now hidden. The next step is to make the recent projects button clickable. Under the hide, you just write a jQuery selector for the recent projects button. Its class is .projects button. Then attach onClick and provide an empty function as the second parameter to on. So if we go back in here, return, and we add a selector for the class projects button, we're going to apply to that an onClick. Click, our second parameter is an empty function, so we just selected our .projects button, added an onClick, and provided a second parameter with an empty function. So let us run this. So it says, now that the click listener is set up on the recent projects button, let's make the projects appear when we click them. And we will do this on the next lesson. But that is it for this one. See you guys then.